Welcome to Synthetic Oil Protection. I'm your host Eben, and today is a very relaxed, chill day. We're here at a coffee shop meeting up with a very, very special customer of mine. This is Lewis and his beautiful 2014 FJ Cruiser Toyota, and it's got the 4-liter, and he loves this thing. He loves it, and he's going to tell you all about it. So we're going to go cruise, and just a beautiful overcast day in Vegas. Coming inside the boots. Here we go. The boots. Aha, the home away from home. Aha. So this is my first time going around the block in an FJ Cruiser. I think I took one in on trade when I worked at Honda, but I only took it and drove it in the back. I did not drive it on the street. So this will be the first time. So we'll see what it's all about. So how many years have you had this thing, Lewis?
5 years now.
5 years. Wow.
Paid off. Done.
Beautiful. That's awesome. So, oh my God, look at that ceiling. That is the most beautiful ceiling I've ever seen. Look at that. I've never seen that many badges on any car or anything.
Look at that guy. Roof Korean.
That is awesome. That is so cool. Those are really good badges too. They're not just any badge.
No.
The best. That is so cool. Man, I just love everything about this car so far.
Oh,
Inside. Man, inside is so clean. Holy cow.
So I did the engine oil, transmission, front diff, rear diff, and the transfer case.
Beautiful.
So all the fluids except the engine coolant.
And that's something that could be coming soon, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, the low toxicity biodegradable coolant is amazing. I've done that on all different trucks, vehicles, and just amazing what that stuff does. Yeah, let's do it. Go ripping around the block.
So with all the mods, front bumper, rear bumper, and the what they call the rock rails or rock sliders, it's added 1,000 pounds to this this vehicle.
Wow.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind with when accelerating.
Yeah. What is the curb weight on this car, like OEM?
Yeah, OEM
usually?
It's between 46 and 48 with options.
Wow.
So right now we're at 58. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's not including the auxiliary gas tank and then filled later.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I ordered a rooftop tent for it, which has not been installed yet, but just the rooftop tent and the new rack are 300 pounds. So,
holy cow.
Yeah.
Feels good. Just right off the bat. The suspension feels good.
Yeah, I cleaned the MAF sensor, the mass airflow sensor, and just did the spark plugs too. So
fresh plugs.
Yeah, fresh plugs at 120. The
Is it okay if we hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah. See what she sounds like. Wow, this thing is in like mint. Mint. So we're here in Las Vegas. And Lewis is from Texas and California, right?
Yeah.
You've been both?
I'm from all over.
He does everything. So he's doing a little camping trip, hanging out, relaxing, doing Vegas. Wow. That thing shifts so smooth. Wow, that's hard to believe.
I'm going to come.
Wow, yeah. Gorgeous day here in Vegas. Got some beautiful clouds. Usually we don't have any clouds, so there's usually no depth. Usually it's just a blue sky, and it's going to be like 70 degrees today. So we'll let you see what she shifts like. Let's do it. Beautiful. Here's the brother. We're back at Madhouse. So a really cool coffee shop. Love checking it out. And we got the whole ripping. Now we'll take a little talk here. We'll do a little shop talk.
Yeah, so when I bought it, they had not done the transmission service, And so at 100,000 miles, the steering wheel would vibrate. And so I got on the forums, on the FJ forums, and a lot of people were actually sold refurbished transmissions when all they needed was a transmission fluid service. Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, and that was expensive. Obviously, you got to remove the old one, put in the refurbished one, and then test it out.
If you didn't know that, they would have.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, so a lot of people were oversold transmissions when all they needed was a service.
And what year is your FJ?
So this FJ is the last year.
All right.
2014.
All right, 2000. Yeah. 2014 FJ Cruiser. This is the machine. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So cool to have someone visit from California, and then you also get to Texas too, both. So yeah, he's everywhere. He's running the country. It's what it's about. I love this thing. I love the utility.
It kind of encompassed this term now that's called overlanding, but in reality, overlanding was, I guess it was coined in Australia, where the farmers, in Australia, at least the people who lived in the bush, they had heavily modified vehicles to get from town to town. They didn't live coastal like Sydney or Brisbane, right? So everything inside of Australia was needed to be modified to survive the trip to the next town. And so that term is now being used as, they were actually doing expeditions, in Australia, and now that term is now here in the U.S. So people just bolt on different things.
Now, what are those tanks there? I always see those tanks, those two tanks next to each other.
So those tanks right now, they're water tanks.
All right.
But you can also store fuel. I have 2 fuel tanks, but I didn't have enough time to show you here. So maybe next time when we do all the fluids again,
all right,
I have an auxiliary fuel tank that goes underneath it.
Wow.
It's a 25-gallon fuel tank.
Wow.
So instead of my range being like 280 miles to the fill up, it'll be just over 600 with that new tank. Yeah.
Wow.
So every time you stop, it's about 20 minutes stop, and that adds up if you're going from here to across the country.
Wow.
Which I did. I went from we're from California to Georgia to see some of my Army buddies there.
Wow.
And so just in the stops alone, with the auxiliary tank, I would have saved like over 2 hours.
Wow.
Just in stops.
Wow.
So
that really adds up.
Yeah. So
I didn't even think about that.
Travel,
Holy cow.
So I've
now,
done different. Yeah.
What was the name of that coffee you gave me? Now, Lewis here is a coffee lover. He got me a special coffee. What was it called?
Well, it was Black Rifle Coffee, but that roast was called Scapegoat.
Ah.
And
that
then
was
smooth. It was
God.
Ethiopian Yirgachev. So
that was a hell of a good coffee. If you're into coffee, check out that one too. And then, of course, we got my coffee here in the channel, and that's the synthetic oil protection coffee. Link is down below, and we're always sharing the love, So we'll go shred around the block in the kitty cat, and there's the love, the coffee and the hot. Lewis is a very special customer of mine. He's my #1 AMSOIL Preferred Customer, and I think he's been swimming in the products for years. Wow.
Yeah. It's a donation for the channel.
I like it.
So we got 4 of them,
All
4
right.
5 gallons.
Wow.
And this is for all the spent oil when you do or coolant, whatever you want.
I love it.
Yeah.
Where'd you get this from?
Oh, Amazon.
Awesome. All right.
But I mean, that way you don't have to have it in your catch pans.
Yeah.
You can
And
take it and recycle it to whatever auto parts store.
Easy pour.
Yeah.
Awesome. So how many years you been using the products, Lewis?
Now, like, I think a year and a half now. And it started with just my engine oil. And then from then on, I switched all the fluids. So engine oil, transmission, front and rear differential, and then the transfer case as well. But it rides better than when I bought it. It rides better than when I had it in 2016. So, yeah.
Let's
really
go.
Awesome stuff.
We're gonna go terrorize the neighborhoods in the Cadillac now. Now you see this sucker here? See the fins? See it? 200 mile an hour. 200 mile an hour. All right, we're going for more punching power. So Lewis was telling me that this motor on this can actually sense the octane levels. So we're gonna be pumping some octane with our Octane Boost Dominator. And we got the upper cylinder. Now these two are my favorite combo for more punching power. Smoother idle, much more power, and I would estimate, I think I did a little V6. I'm going to say about 7 to 14 wheel horsepower is my guess on something like this. You might make 5 to 12. I'm guessing the wheels is my guess. So we'll see. We'll see his opinion. We'll give it a shot. So let's nail it in. Go ahead. Let's do it. Show him how easy it goes. The upper cylinder puts a film around the rings. This one treats 25 gallons. And then this guy only treats 15 gallons, but he's only got a half a tank. So we're good. So say you want tons of power, you would actually do 2 of these if you had a full tank of gas on a bigger car like the Putty Cat. I usually do 2 bottles in her when I fill her up. And that's it. We throw the cap on her. Yeah, we're good to go. All right. Well, Lewis made a special trip to Vegas. It means a lot, Lewis, for you doing this.
No problem.
Thank you so much for being a part of the channel.
Sure.
And Lewis, man, he's indulged in all the products. He's my #1 preferred customer out of anyone I have. He's indulged the most. So it means a lot, Lewis. Thank you so much. We'll make a little cheers. Grab it. Do it. Cheers to protection, protection, protection. Oh, and check out this video here in the middle. YouTube wants you to check it out.